Hello, welcome to Martha's Fragrance Corner. My name is Martha, and if you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. This is my monthly check in video, and I have to say, I am so pumped. I am so excited. I hope that this video will motivate you. Maybe some of this energy will, I don't know, flow into you in your life because I don't know who I am right now. I don't know what happened to me in May, but we're going to talk about it. And I'm just really, really happy. So as always, my check-in videos, I'll have my wax goals, give you a little update on my wellness health journey, talk about, what I've been wearing and I'll talk about my perfumes just a teeny little bit, share just some of the joys really that have been really energizing me. And then share a favorite at the end. So if you're interested in hearing what I've been up to and what the month of May was like for me, then stick around. Right, we are going to start on my wax sheet here, and then we'll get into everything else. I do have to leave for lunch. I'm gonna take my mom out for a birthday lunch, and then I'll come back. So the lighting may change. I might be in a different location, but let's just get started. Okay, so the month of May. Let's see. I had some product come in, some wax came in, and I still did pretty good. So I had some friend mail come in. So friend mail will be I'll call Melting Memories friend mail because it was, right? It was gifted to me and it was wax that I got. And then I also included some bars that Catherine King sent me. I got it just this past week. So that is my friend mail. But put it all together, if I look at what else I purchased on my own, that I actually purchased, I got some Scentsy, I think that came in, and Knowles Farm Scents. I'm trying to think of, oh, yeah, I guess it was just Knowles Farm Scents because I'm adding the 9 in here. So I might have gotten something else. I don't remember. But regardless, 18 is what came in. 39 is what I used. So I used a little bit more than April, but not as high as my earlier in the year. But the number doesn't necessarily mean much because sizes vary, right? So my average is still about 44 per month. I ended up using, because I brought some in, I ended up using 21, so still better than last month, actually, when I brought in more. So 21, and I think actually it'll be 22 by the time I make this video, because I am actually going to warm 1 bar of Scentsy. So it'll be 22 by the end of the day. And then ounces, same thing. I used 106 ounces, so I actually used less ounces than I used last month. So the ounces is really telling for me, and I'm glad that I started tracking it. It sounds like a lot to track, but once you add it in there, you don't have to do it anymore. And sometimes with some cases like L3, I haven't weighed everything. So it's not all the ounces I have, but I'll just put it in when I'm done, right? I can see that something is 5 ounces or something like that. But anyway, I like that I'm tracking ounces, so I do have that. And so my net used in ounces, this is really like how much did I use? Was 37, so better than April, better than the previous month, but still not as great as some of the other months, but hey, better than January too. So I had a good month overall, still allowing myself to buy a little, still allowing, friend mail or things to come in that I hadn't really planned for. And I mean, I don't think last year at all I had negatives like being, first half of the year. So I am down using 109 units and I'm down 293 units of wax. So if I look over here at my total ins, my starting number was 806. I'll be at 696 by the time you watch this video because, like I said, I'll warm 1 more Scentsy bar before the day is over, and then yeah, that's where I am. So I am very happy. I'm below 700. My goal is to get to, I keep lowering it. 400 will make me really happy. And then I'll talk about my friend Claude here in the AI that told me I could get to 400 by the end of this year if I went cold turkey and didn't buy anything. So I'll talk about how I've been using AI because that's kind of fun. All right, moving on to how much I've spent. In May, I only spent $46.50 on wax. So that is good. That is good. That is a low dollar amount, bringing my total to $418.93 for the year. I've been good. And I think that's why I'm smiling because I'm very, very proud. It's not easy to do, but I feel like once you get into it, like you got to have the motivation. You have to really want to not feel overwhelmed and not buy wax. And it's hard. It's like anything. It's like even dieting and all of that stuff. It's not easy, when you really want that donut, but you can't, right? Or not that you can't, but you not having the donut is more satisfying than having the donut. And that's where I'm at. Not buying wax is more satisfying, and using what I have. It's not the not buying, it's using what I have is much more satisfying and filling me up so much more than buying. And knowing your triggers. I've stayed away from vendor wax groups. I've stayed away. I don't even know what's going on. I did not go in on the Teddy Bees pre-order, and I'm not going to. I know there's still one more day, but I'm not going to. I don't even know what's on the pre-order list because I didn't look. I don't need to look. You know why? At least for me, and this is all me right now. You can be in a very different place, and that's fine. As long as you're happy and doing what feels good for you, then do it for sure. But for me, I have all the Teddy Bees I feel I need. Like in the January pre-order, I felt like there's two things missing from my collection and they were on the list. So I got those two and couple of other things. But I'm at the point right now with my collection that there isn't anything I feel I'm missing. My favorites I still have. I still have a whole loaf of honeybee and a tub of honeybee. I don't need honeybee right now. I don't need any Christmas scents. I don't need any of that right now. I feel very satisfied with my collection that I didn't feel the need to have to go in. So I didn't look. I didn't look because I'm like, I don't even want to hear about new scents. I don't want to. I don't want to know. I don't need to. So that helped me stay away and not order from Teddy Bees for the first time in 2.5 years. I've not missed a pre-order in 2.5 years. And I was like, I'm good. And I'll show you why I'm good. Looking at Teddy Bees here, I still have 108 pieces of Teddy Bees. I have 733 ounces of Teddy Bees. For me, that's a lot. And this is all me. There is no judgment at all. Everyone's going to have different numbers. We all have different size homes. We all have different amounts of warmers that we use. I can only get through so much. I work outside of the home, so I'm not home all the time. So for me, that was a lot, and I didn't want to keep adding to it. So looking at my vendors here, my hope is to have this all green at some point. So I still have one more glitterati, and I know exactly where it is that I have not warmed. It was in my May melting basket, and I didn't get to it. So next month I hope to have that green. I did get melting memory, so I added this vendor in to my dashboard. So I got 9 from Veronica. And so that's why that's red, because it was more than my starting number at the beginning of the year. And then let's see, you know what? I bought Noel's Farm Scents, but it was still green. So even though I've tracked that pre-order, like it's already in my spreadsheet, what I purchased this month, even though I'm not going to get it till probably July, I put it in. So, and knowing that I'm still under, even with that order, makes me feel good. It's like, okay, I'm tracking. Could it be more than one? Yes, probably, but it's still, I'm happy with that. I can live with that. I'm down to 10 units of second and spruce, and I think I put 2 or 3 in my melting basket for June. So, I'm going to be down to like 7. So that's like nothing. I can warm that in a week. If I wanted to. So we still have a big amount of Teddy Bees. That is the vendor I have the most of. And then Scentsy as well. But Scentsy, even though I've been bringing Scentsy in maybe every other month, I've been bringing in some purchases. I'm still down from where I started at the beginning of the year. So this is what this tells me by vendor. I also started tracking vendors because at the end of the year, my hope is to keep dwindling how many vendors I have on hand down, and then keeping, I don't know what that magic number, if it's 10 or 15 vendors, that would be great. But right now I have much more than 15. So that is my wax update, where I've been and just how happy. And now I have this streak. I have a streak of still lowering my numbers every month. I'm a person who does like streaks and not breaking the chain, so I feel like I have a good streak going here. So I don't want to do anything to mess this up. And so let's get into real quick what Claude told me about my shopping habits, shall we? Okay, so who's Claude? Claude is an AI. So it's Claude AI, I think .com, but I think Claude AI will get you there. You've probably heard of ChatGPT, and those are probably the biggest ones. I know there's another one. There's many. There's many AIs. I'll also talk about another travel one that I used. But Claude, I use Claude for more natural language. Like, it sounds a little more natural than ChatGPT. ChatGPT is more of a like jack of all trades. I use ChatGPT more than anything, but Claude I like for kind of analyzing things and then giving me a breakdown, and not sounding so AI-ish. So I took that spreadsheet that I just shared, that dashboard. That's all I did. I downloaded it into a PDF, just that one sheet, with like my totals and everything. And I downloaded it in a PDF form and then uploaded it here to Claude. I have a free version of Claude, so this is free. And I asked it, what patterns do you see in my wax usage? And what might that reveal about my buying usage habits? And then it gave me, it really gave me some insight on, my usage pattern, that, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into all of it. But then I said, I'd like to take my inventory down to 300 or 400 units and reduce my vendors to my top 9 vendors. And I mentioned kind of which ones are my top 5, or my top 9, I should say. And then I said, knowing what my usage is, how long would it take me to get there? Knowing that I like to purchase small orders of 10 or less every few months. Now, the thing with AI, and I've been using it for quite a while and taking classes and stuff for work, is the more context and the better your question, the better your prompt, so to speak, the better results you're going to get. So this might sound like a lot, but it's like telling someone you've just met a little bit about you. I have a little bug flying over there, a little bit about you so that they can give you a better answer. And so then it says, okay, at the time when I did this was maybe a week ago, I had 688 units. My target is 300 to 400. So it's here's my current situation is basically my average usage. It had all that. If you go cold turkey at 43 units a month, which is my average, you'd reach 400 units in about 6.5 months. You'd hit 300 units in about 9 months. So that was cold turkey. If I don't buy anything, it's going to take me that long to get to my goal. So I started it in January of 2024, was when I started trying to do a low buy, and I've been more mindful. And so I'm thinking, wow, the damage I did from 2023, I'm still paying for, and it's going to take me 2 years to undo all the shopping that I did in 2023. So that was a little, splash of cold water. And then it says with your preferred purchasing pattern, which is about buying 10 units or so every 3 months. I think I'm a little more than that. But, and then it told me like it would take me maybe uh, about 7.3 months and about 9.8 months to get to 300 units. So a little more than that if I was just buying like 10 units every 3 months. And then it gave me, here's your bigger issue. You want to consolidate your vendors. You've got a lot of Scentsy. Yeah, thank you for pointing it out. And then it said realistic timeline is 12 to 15 months. Given that you'll probably want to use up your non-preferred vendor inventory first rather than waste it, and accounting for the occasional small purchase from your top 9 vendors, it's estimating 12 to 15 months to reach my goal of 300 to 400 units. So this also was motivating to me to say, I got to keep going. I have to keep going. I'm on the right track and I'm going to get to my goal. Patience, steady Eddie, and patience. But anyway, this is just a little bit of how I've been using AI. There's so many other things I can talk about, which I will. I'll get to that, but I have to go to have lunch. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back from lunch and I'm here in the kitchen because as I was I'm not going to dive down into AI rabbit hole. I can, because that's what I did in May. I did use Layla AI to plan out my trip in Japan. I mean, it's amazing. I'm treating AI kind of like a virtual assistant, basically. I had ChatGPT. This was months ago when I went to DC. Was it last year? Give me an itinerary of things to do, places to eat, if I'm going to be in Georgetown or in this area, recommend some lunch and dinner things. I'm interested in Mexican food, or I mean, you can just keep chatting with it, and it's really unbelievable. So, I have my Japan trip all planned out thanks to ChatGPT. But the reason I'm in my kitchen is because, and I know you probably can't see it too well, maybe a little bit. This here, I will see if I still have my photo that I used, was just like things that just I didn't know where to put anywhere else. So I reorganized this last week. I have nothing on my counters except for one Scentsy warmer. Let me see if I can move this over a little bit here. I mean, I have my fruit basket and water, and that is pretty much it. That is on my counters. This used to be my drop my mail stuff. This used to be all kinds of things. I'm like, where did I do with it all? But I ended up organizing it up here with ChatGPT's help. And this started because in early May, I watched a video from a YouTuber who said she uses ChatGPT to help her declutter. And the first thing that she showed was she took a picture of her room. So I did this with the guest room because I had stuff on the bed. It was still a bit messy. And I took a picture and I said, take this picture and imagine it like decluttered, organized, and clean. Tell me what steps, and I can, if you want, I can add comments or something below if you're interested in like the prompt that I used. But it was something like that, help me imagine it clean, decluttered, using the same angle as this photo. Show me what it could look like clean. And it did. It still had the daybed there. It still had the furniture there, but it showed it completely clear and decluttered. And that just right there was seeing it decluttered and nice and clean like I would want it. It was motivation. And then it goes on to tell me, hey, this is what you need to do. Step one, step two. And I'm like, I need to give this to my daughter because I feel like sometimes people get so overwhelmed. Like it's just so much that, what do I do? And it was like, clear the floor first, make your piles, and all the things that we know, I think, to do, the donate, the garbage, the keep piles and stuff like that. And I'm like, one Saturday, I think it was two Saturdays ago, I woke up and I'm like, I miss having my counters in the kitchen like clear of clutter. It wasn't bad, but I always, like I said, on this particular thing here that you can't see, I always would in the corner have books or just mail, things like that. So I just decided, and then this, I didn't like how it was looking. It was quite the mess, and it gave me, um, based on some images that I gave it and uploaded, it showed me what it could look like, and it told me like put the appliances that you use all the time, like every day, up here, so I'm not bending over and like pulling out pots and pans back, because that's kind of how it was. I had it fits under the drawer, but I would be bending over and pulling out pots and pans to get to the air fryer or this and that. I use the blender all the time now, and I'll get into that with my wellness update. I bought a nut milk maker. I have now all my Nespresso pods in here in this container instead of having like 10, I think those were like 10 espresso boxes, half empty, half full, just there. I had laundry stuff over here. I was able to reorganize and put the laundry stuff around the corner where the washing machine and stuff is. My popcorn maker, which I do pull out every once in a while. So this looks so much better to me than it did in the past. Again, my counters, now I could just spray the counter clean and just not have to move like all this stuff around. And so that was something that I just got into in May. Cleaning, decluttering, reorganizing. I'm up my walls with Mr. Clean's. Let me grab it. Yeah, I use Mr. Clean's like Gain Original. So I'm using this to mop my floors. I do have an O-Cedar, it's the mop, the round mop, right? So I have a clean head and I mopped these walls and had mopped the floor and it just smelled so good in here and so clean. And I just got in a cleaning mood and it all started by watching cleaning videos on YouTube and organization videos on YouTube. And it just has been like this, I don't know, motivation, boulder, just bouldering through, and I'm just enjoying it so much. So I've been chatting a lot about Chat GPT and all that, but it's really, I don't know, that combined with like YouTube videos that have been motivating me and inspiring me have just like kept me going. I get a daily briefing with news and weather and stuff from Chat GPT. I just say, hey, start my day. And because we worked it out. I worked it out and I said, this is what I want to hear in the mornings. This is the kind of information I want to get, and boom, I get it. So it's been life-changing. And that's just where we're going, as scary as it is. I will touch on something really quick and then I'll move away from AI and kind of cleaning and all that. Is there is ways to set in the settings, you can have it be more private. So don't put anything that you wouldn't say out in public right on there, because yes, it's, who knows where it's going. So, but there is a setting that you can do that it will not use your chats to teach new models and things like that. So there is a setting for that for a little more privacy, but that is that. Let's move on to wellness. Speaking of wellness, still enjoying my water. All I've had today was water and smoothies. So these past few months, I want to say since January, I've been intermittent fasting. I've talked about that every month. Hasn't done anything for me in my menopause weight gain. It hasn't done anything as far as like taking weight off. But me watching videos and stuff, I did end up getting, because I have been walking more and really doing better about walking now that the weather's nice. I got a weighted vest. So here's the weighted vest that I got. This is 10 pounds. And I wear it. And if I didn't have my mic on, I'd clip it on. But basically, yeah, it looks like a, what is those safety water vests, right? When you're on a boat. But yeah, I wear this and it's 10 pounds. Like I said, there's 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 12 pounds. And I wear it and it's actually really good for my posture, because I'm, walking and I can feel it. I feel it in my calves when I'm walking. So I figured that would be something a little bit more. I mean, I did the intermittent fasting just to see what would happen. And what happened was no weight loss whatsoever, but I haven't gained anything. I mean, I just got back from New York and I, had steak dinners at a steakhouse and desserts and all that stuff and been on a plane and I didn't gain anything. So I think it's just been keeping me steady, but I want a little more. I want to actually see some better progression. So I did get the weighted vest. I've only used it a few times. Not sure what it will do, but I can feel it. Like I said, I can feel it in my posture. I feel it in my calves. Let me know if you have a weighted vest. I see more and more people walking with these. I saw someone this morning walking with this. She had a black one on, but it was the same kind of thing. And it feels like it's making a difference. I also got a walking mat. So I got a walking pad. It fits under my couch, so it's not in the way. And I can pull it out. And on days where maybe I didn't get out walking, today's a great example. It's like 90 degrees outside. I'm not walking in 90-degree weather, but I did walk this morning at like 7:50 before it was really hot. It was like 61 degrees. I got outside, wore my weighted vest. But let's say I had to work early or I just didn't get to it. I wasn't able to get out early in the morning. I just haven't been able to walk. I have my walking pad. It's facing the TV when I pull it out, and I could just walk for like 20 minutes and watch YouTube or some TV. I got it about a week ago, so I've only used it 3 times, but I like it. It's convenient. It's not very noisy. It's actually pretty good, and I've been enjoying that. So this is a couple of adjustments. I'm kind of taking my health journey from like a level 1 to a level 2 here with a couple things. And then I've also decided this month, when I was kind of reflecting on what has helped me in the past when I have lost some weight, um, was going back to basics, which was really making sure I get more protein, more fiber, and more healthy fats. Carbs are okay as long as I'm getting more of those other 3 things. And I wasn't doing that. I'm a very carb heavy person. I love carbs. I love bread. I love pasta. But I'm not, which is fine, but I wasn't getting all that other stuff, right? The protein. And so I went back to making smoothies, hence my blender here, my Ninja, making smoothies in the morning. So my nut milk maker. See how this is all coming together? I make smoothies with spinach, almond milk, chia seeds, bananas, and then like a triple berry for the antioxidants. And I am getting protein powder today because the smoothie alone does not have enough protein, but I'm getting the other nutrients, the healthy fats. I can put avocado in there. I haven't tried that. There is a smoothie with like peanut butter. Or having a snack with like apple slices and peanut butter, thinking better snacks than chips and things like that. So this has all been more like May 20th and on, so it hasn't been a full month, but I've been feeling good. So this morning I woke up. First thing I did, I got up at like 7:15. I'm like, ooh, it's going to be a hot one. Just changed, put on some shorts, a t-shirt, my weighted vest, and went for a walk. And then I came back. I did a full body workout, which I haven't done at all. So today was day 1, and I'm going to be in pain tomorrow. I know it. This was full body. This was legs. This was the butt. This was shoulders. And I did that, and I had the energy to do that. And then I had a smoothie, and then I got my protein from a Greek yogurt. So that's what I did this morning. I went out to lunch, during this little video break, I went out to lunch, and I knew where we were going for my mom's birthday. And I asked ChatGPT, because ChatGPT and I are friends now, and he knows, or she knows that, that I want to eat more protein, carbs, and healthy fats. And I said, this is the restaurant I'm going to. What would be the smartest thing, the healthiest thing for me to choose on the menu? And it gave me several options. Like, this was amazing for me. And so I'd never done that before where I planned ahead. So I ended up having the poke bowl, ahi poke bowl. I had seaweed salad. I had avocado. I had tuna. Um, there was salad in there. And, so that was pretty healthy. I didn't have soda, and I just have been drinking water. So I'm trying to like kickstart this because I am motivated. Earlier in the year, I was motivated just to see because if something could happen kind of naturally without trying too hard. And the reality is it's not happening. It's not happening unless I do something more than just intermittent fasting. So that's my health update. I'm just motivated. I don't know why. I don't know what's gotten into me. I don't know why I'm in a cleaning freak mode. I don't know why I'm in organizing mode. And I am in just like health mode right now. So I'm really, really excited about that. So let's talk about another rabbit hole I've been under or going into, diving deep. All right. Back upstairs, I can sit down. This video is going to be long, isn't it? But let's get into quick check-in with perfumes. So I did a little switch of not wanting to use just the body lotions and body mists that I have and get back into perfumes about 2 months ago. So yes, I continue to use my Valentino, and it's escaping me, something born in Roma. Donna born in Roma. I'm like, oh, I had it. But so that is one that I've continued to use. And then I've added in Erin Hibiscus Palm. This one I got a couple years ago. And it just reminds me of like this early summer. It's a summer scent without smelling like suntan lotion or like lemon, lime. And it's hibiscus palm. So you know what? Let me get the scent notes on this one. Let's ask AI. Let's see if it'll tell me here. Real quick. Can you tell me the scent notes for the perfume by Erin, Aerin? The perfume is hibiscus palm. What are the scent notes?
The scent notes for Erin Hibiscus Palm perfume are a blend of tropical florals and warm, creamy elements. Here's a breakdown. Top notes: lotus flower, hibiscus, palm leaf, ylang ylang, ginger. Middle notes: frangipani.
See, this is what I'm telling you. AI is like my assistant. And it goes on to base notes: coconut milk, vanilla, and musk. It's a really pretty fragrance that I am starting to wear again. And again, just super excited to be kind of using my perfumes again. I still did use a little bit of this body mist. This is cashmere vanilla. So we were here at the beginning of April, and I think, or May, we were probably around here. So I've definitely made some progress, and I'm down to here now. So still enjoying this one. I like a ginger lime one from the same company, and the other day I'm like, oh, this is actually nice for the summertime. So this is a little more like warm sweater. Now that we're getting to hotter weather, I think I'm going to be switching to that other one. But very happy to be having fun again with my perfume. So that is my perfume update. And let me talk about my other rabbit hole. I know this is going to be a long video, but my other rabbit hole this month, I haven't been watching wax videos. I've been watching YouTube, but everything else. But it's been good, right? I've been productive because of it. The other rabbit hole that got me to take action was started out with miles and points and looking at the credit cards we had. And I have a credit card that's like from when I was in college, right? It's like my first card, which is Chase Freedom. They don't even take applications for that particular card, but I would get like 5 times cash back on, they roll it every quarter. But I started thinking, I love to travel. I've always loved traveling, and I want to travel more. I'm getting older. I'm at a place where, knock on wood, thank the Lord, I have a good job. My kids are grown. I can kind of enjoy the fruit of all the work that I've done, right? And I was thinking, how do all these other people get like free nights at hotels and like, free trips here and fly business class, and just really thinking of how come I'm not making my money work for me? And that was a light bulb moment. So that was another rabbit hole I went down this month. It started with travels and points, and like, why don't I have credit cards that like will give me 3 times on gas? I mean, I'm gonna fill up on gas anyway. Why not get money back for it? Or we do eat out a lot. We do eat out a lot. We like the movies. We like, fun entertainment things. There's a card out there that gives me cash back for doing that, so it really had me thinking about how to work. I hate to say work the system, but work the system that's out there. And so, yeah, I got a Savor One card because I'm like, and 3 times back on streaming services, so, and it's a no annual fee card, and it works really well with the venture that I have, the venture capital one card that I have. So I just started doing some research, and I'm thinking, this is how people combine points, and this is how people do things. And, to that rabbit hole. So that rabbit hole then led me to really taking a look at my finances and saying, how much interest is my bank paying me? I mean, I have CDs and some high interest accounts. I do, but those are like trapped in CDs, right? That's not like your regular savings and checking that you're just using every day, and debit card and all this stuff. And I was mortified on like the chump change my bank was giving me with the money I had in the bank. And I'm all, this is ridiculous. It's basically costing me money to have my money here when I can have a high savings yield, high interest savings account. And so I started doing some research, moving things around, applied for some credit cards. With credit cards and with anything, always, always, always pay them off at the end of the month. That is a rule that I've had for myself since I think my father taught me very well on some things about money, and I have never not paid off my card in full. Now, there's debt that you take on, mortgage, car loans, things like that. But for just buying day to day stuff, if I don't have the money, if I can't afford it, I've never purchased it, because that's always been like that. Money needs to be in the bank. I'm just paying the credit card at the end of the month for convenience. So all of this stuff is things that I've just had me thinking, and I'm like, it's stuff you don't talk to your kids about, really. My dad took me to the bank when I was 17, and he says, you should put some of your money in a mutual fund, because I was working full time, was living at home, I have this money and I was always good about paying myself first. I don't know. I've just always been very responsible in that sense. And I have to thank my parents for that. They had, just regular jobs, nothing fancy, not white collar, hardworking parents. And yet I saw them were able to save. I saw them that they were able to take us on trips. Yeah, we drove instead of flew to different places, unless we had to fly, like Costa Rica when we go visit. But I got a lot from my parents. I really owe them a lot for kind of helping me be fiscally responsible with my money. But it's something, I guess, we just don't talk about money. And even with my kids. So I called them during my little rabbit hole of research. I'm like, hey, you guys, you're getting crap interest. And I see how much money you have in your savings. Move it to a high yield savings account. You can get, there's some that will actually even pay you any, how if you go to an ATM machine that's not your bank, you get charged a fee. They'll pay you back those transaction fees. I mean, there's just so much out there. And it's like my mind this month went with AI, with finance, with cleaning, decluttering. And so I don't know what happened to me in May, but literally it was like, wake up. I woke up and I was like, I just got busy working on this stuff, and it didn't feel like working. I got excited, like, ooh, I get money there. I could get money there. And it almost made it a game for me on how much I was leaving on the table and how much I wasn't allowing or wasn't really letting money work for me. Yes, I am very fortunate to have a 401k and a company that matches, and I've always taken advantage of those things, but I was still leaving money on the table. And that's kind of what I woke up to in May. And so that was the other rabbit hole that I did and that I dove into. And it started with credit cards and maximizing them in a good, healthy, responsible way. And then it led me down to finances and, high yield savings account. I always thought I had to have a CD in order to have better interest rates, and that's not true. So anyway, that's the other rabbit hole. Okay, it's getting hot in here. I need to turn on the AC. Sorry, this is choppy. This is May in a good way. Made it to the end here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I have no idea how long this video is going to be when I put it all together, but May, if you can't tell, it was just amazing. It was a great month for all kinds of reasons. It's like a light bulb went on. It's just like all of a sudden in all different aspects of my life, it's things are good. And my word of the year is joy, and I'm feeling so much joy right now. So I have two favorites. One is YNAB. It's You Need a Budget. I've been using it for 6 or 7 years. I think it's been around for like 15 years. But I'm going to be honest, I don't think I was really looking at it this year. Kind of got into lazy mode and stuff. And it's a great budgeting app when you're a bit more proactive. And so I caught up. I caught up with all the expenses and everything. And part of the money working for you and all of that is really being aware. Like, what are your expenses? Like, how much are you, what's your income? What is coming in, what is going out? And with YNAB, you're basically putting all the money that you have into buckets of things. And so you're budgeting for all kinds of things. You're budgeting for travel, for wax, for movies, for whatever it is, your car payments, insurance, streaming service, subscriptions. I mean, there's so much today, Wi-Fi. I mean, there's just so much that we pay for. And so I'm back on my budgeting and just being very mindful and responsible and caring about kind of what I'm using, where it's going, what do I want to do? I mean, my hope, God willing, that I'm still around and having a good life before I retire, and after that I can enjoy some retirement afterwards. But I'm thinking, I maybe got 13 years more, and so I'm kind of in the final stretch on really, what do I want my life to look like in 10-15 years? And so that also got me thinking about, yes, how much do I want to budget for this and budget for that? And am I saving, monthly and putting things into retirement? And, and I do have different, like I said, things, Roth IRAs, and I've been good, but I wasn't great at it. And so this month I kind of got that little, we could do more. And so that's been wonderful. So I do love YNAB for that. I had recommended it to a friend of mine, and I don't know if she's watching or not, so I'm not going to say any names, but I recommended it to a friend of mine when she had student loans, and she had a lot of debt that she'd been carrying for a long, long time. And we sat down and we went through everything, and I went through everything with her. And I said, try YNAB. I'm going to gift it to you for a year, and, have your own. And now it's night and day in 5 years, where she was and where she is today. And so I just think you can do it. It's not, we're all in different places and things like that. But I think part of it is just knowing what you have and, pay yourself first, as much as possible. So I'm not trying to be preachy, but if that's something you're struggling with, she was literally like, it was like, you only have this much for groceries, and it was a very rude awakening. But I can tell you, it's like a amazing story 5 years later on where she's at. So it's possible. Then the second favorite thing is my AI friends. I've embraced it. I know it's not for everyone. I was just teaching someone like how to use it, and in certain ways he's still using it like a search engine, which you could do more, but it will analyze things. It will code. The dashboard that I have, that I use, that I show you at the beginning of the month, my dashboard, I didn't know how to do those formulas in Google Sheets. Who did I ask? ChatGPT. I said, I want to do this. I want to create the spreadsheet. I want it to calculate this and this. Help me code this. And that's how I built that spreadsheet. So there's just so many ways to use it that have been time savers for me. Like I said, it helped me figure out what to eat today, so I can go in prepared, trying to be healthy. Tomorrow I want to take my mom out and we're going to go for a drive somewhere. So I asked her, what events are happening in these areas? Can you recommend some places? These are the things we like to do. These are the kinds of things we like to eat. And just really give it a lot of info, a lot of prompting, and then chat with it. And it's just been really amazing. For work, it saves me so much time in brainstorming and kind of writing out an email. It'll help the flow of it, and then you could tell it things like, I don't want it to sound like AI. Okay, sure, and it literally changes it. You could say, try again, and it just keeps getting better and better. it can be scary. There are some, like I said, Layla AI will, that one was the one that I mentioned about the itinerary and like my travel. It can book things for you. I'm not ready to give it my credit card information. No, but with other things, it's just amazing. Decorating, home decorating, decluttering, the fact that it could give me back a picture of what like this room could look like for me because I'm a visual person is just so helpful. So yeah, that's my other favorite. There's a lot out there. Gemini's great on Google, and that's the one that I used to tell me what the scent notes were. I just talked to her, and she talks very much like a human back. And then ChatGPT for most kind of everything, and then Claude if it's writing or just kind of analyzing things. But there's so many. There's Napkin AI. There's don't get me started on Notebook LM, but look it up. Notebook LM. If for work, if you have to like take in lots of data and you want it summarized, and maybe you're more of a listener, audio learner, it'll turn it into a podcast. It's just like, it's so unbelievable what is out there. So it's scary. Sometimes I do think, did we not see the movie Terminator? Did we not see Terminator? But it's here, and I'm using it for good, and I'm using it to make my life easier. So that is that. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I've been talking for so long. I don't know who's still with me. If you're still with me, say hi. And tell me, are there anything that you've done in May or that's happened to you in May that you're using that is making your life easier? How do you feel about AI? I mean, I know, it's, some people are like, I don't want to touch it. Just, yeah, let me know. How do you feel about it? Did you have a light bulb moment? Have you been in a cleaning mood like I am? Like finally just like, I just want to get fit. I'm just ready to like, I'm done with feeling like nothing's happening. Well, because I'm not really doing anything. That's why nothing's happening. So I whatever this motivation is, I hope it continues well past tomorrow or this week. And we'll see. My June check-in in July will be interesting, I think, catching up then. But yeah, let me know how your May was. And I don't know if any of this resonated with you. If you want to hear more about some of the stuff I was talking, I know I'm kind of like so excited that I just want to like, shout it out to everyone. So anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Really, really appreciate it. And have a good one. Bye-bye.